We're pleased to have an attorney at law, Miguel Ortiz of Ortiz Law Offices, sitting by our side. Miguel, thanks for coming and joining us today.
Thank you for inviting me.
Miguel has resided in Texas for almost 20 years. He served in the U.S. Army for 11 years, received his Bachelor's of Administration from the University of Central Texas, obtained his Master's degree in Accounting from the Graduate Business School of St. Mary University, and a doctorate in jurisprudence. Help me out here, Miguel.
Jurisprudence.
Thank you. I just got tongue-tied, and I do occasionally, as everybody knows, from St. Mary University School of Law. Miguel also ran for the candidacy for the Texas U.S. Congressional District 23 seat in 2010. He is a member of the Texas Bar Association, American Bar Association, American Trial Lawyers Association, Texas Trial Lawyers Association, Veterans of Foreign Wars, American Legion in San Antonio, is a certified mediator and a part of the Democratic Party. Wow, that's quite a resume there, Miguel.
That is a great resume.
Thank you for the compliments, and thank you for having me here today, talking about real estate and law.
Yes.
And sorry for getting tongue-tied again there, but that seems to be one of the things that we do here a little bit, or I do here, not we.
Well, I'm interested in, and I didn't know this about you, Miguel, because is your candidacy. Tell us about Tell us about the candidacy that you ran for the Congressional District 23 and why you ran.
Well, the U.S. Congressional District 23 is the largest geographically congressional district in the United States. Mm-hmm. It runs from San Antonio to El Paso.
Okay.
And it covers about 700 miles of border lines with Mexico. Mm-hmm. And of course, it's one of the poorest congressional districts in the nation, and one of the largest hosts of veterans territories in the United States. It's a lot of Hispanic veterans in that region.
Right.
One of the reasons that I looked when I was deciding to run is you have a lot of veterans that does not have a regional hospital, such as Addie Murphy here in San Antonio, to help them with medical needs and stuff like that. So they have to actually travel 4 or 5 hours just to get a 30-minute appointment. And when I say 4 or 5 hours, I say 4 or 5 hours one way.
Yeah.
So you get, older people who are financially strained and cannot afford just to come up here to get a doctor's appointment.
Right.
And the economy in that region is also pretty bad. There's a lot of poor Hispanic area, and also, as we know, the issues in the border with the towns such as Laredo and in El Paso with Ciudad Juarez, all those issues that affects us and also mainly the Hispanic community.
And that's a huge geographical district, and it demographically also. It runs from like Stone Oak all the way to El Paso. So I mean, you've got you're dealing with all kinds of different incomes and homes and
21 counties.
Yeah.
So each county, each region, West Texas, they have different needs that what we do in San Antonio. If you go to the northern part of the district, they're farmers concerned about water.
Right.
They're not concerned too much about immigration. They just want to see how their water is going to get there.
Yeah, make a living.
Right. Then you have the people at the border as to security and immigration issues. And then you have the big city of San Antonio that we cover just part of it.
Right.
And that the part of the District 23 is a good economical part of the city. It will be the northwest side.
Right.
East of the 281 corridor, and part of the south side. So it's a very diverse. It's difficult to point one issue that affects everyone because it's not.
Yeah, I mean, we're in that district, and so we pay a little bit of attention to what's going on in that district, but it's hard to try to apply something that's going on in El Paso or Laredo when it seems so far away. I mean, it just seems like a different entity out there.
Yeah,
but it's all part together. We have to work along with each other on that. So.
And interestingly enough, in the last 8 years, we have 4 different sitting congressmen. So every election in the last since I ran, the incumbent at that time was Cito. We all know Cito. He was great service person to our community, and he has contributed a lot to our community. And he was a sitting congressman, and then he lost the election in 2010, and we got Canseco,
Right.
who's also a great man. And then from Canseco, we went to Gallegos, who is out of the West Texas region, and also a great political leader in our state. And now we got Hurt, who comes out from a background on CIA and all those kind of backgrounds.
That's an interesting
experience.
background that he has.
Yes.
Very interesting background.
So hopefully he does a good job. We
Yeah.
have confidence. You know, I'm a Democratic. I'm part of the Democratic Party, but I welcome anybody who wants to do good, and I think Hart could do good, and hopefully the district stabilizes and we get a representative.
And I've met Will Hurd also at a meeting, and you know, I think he's a man with a gentle heart and really wants to do a good job. Whether there's differences in everybody and what they have, it's just that he really has a true heart there, and we'll see. I mean, you know, time tests all of us in that job. You know, we find out what we're made out for. If you're just listening to or just joined us, you're listening to Real Estate Radio San Antonio with Carla and Stan, and we're here with attorney at law Miguel Ortiz, and we're just talking about a little bit about his past. You know, that our life brings so many things, our adventures along the way, our journey of what allows us to know the experiences that we have and to bring you information. And so, you know, Miguel, we're just going to move forward here a little bit, I guess.
I think let's talk about, Miguel, how you got into law and what made you want to practice law.
Well, I'm a family of lawyers. My dad is an attorney. My brother is an attorney. My cousins.
Wow.
And always hanging out with my father. I saw that. And I went to the military, spent 11 years, and I went to law school while on active duty. And not just law school, but all my education. I did it when I was on active duty. And after I finished my education, I got out. I was stationed at Fort Sam. I was an instructor at the officers' basic course down there. And I decided to check out San Antonio. And that was about 14 years ago. And I'm still checking it out. And I like San Antonio. And I like the city. I like what opportunities the city has to bring, including what you guys were saying earlier about, you know, the real estate and how the real estate market works out. And if we remember when the market busted a few years ago, San Antonio did not get hit in that mess, because that was a big mess.
It was a mess across the country.
And our citizens here in San Antonio did not got affected directly on those issues. Right. So, you know, your program educating the buyers is great, and also to let them know that, you know, San Antonio continues to be a great city of growth, and, you know, their investment should be protected.
That's right.
In that way.
And that's one of the reasons why we bring professionals on like yourself to educate the public. I mean, we are very much consumer advocates, Carla and I also. It's one of the reasons why we went into the business for ourselves. But you know, power is knowledge, and usually that knowledge becomes
knowledge is power.
No. Okay, thank you. No.
I just had to
Wow.
Sorry.
It's okay, boss. I guess that's why she owns 51% of the company there, Miguel.
She's the boss, man.
Miguel, I just want to say, though, thank you for your service in our military. Thank you so much.
It's a pleasure.
And tell us a little bit, what does family law and personal injury law encompass? I mean, are those the areas that you specialize in?
Yes, we have 3 locations. We have an office here in San Antonio, one in Belton, which is north of Austin, where Fort Hood is at, and then one in Puerto Rico. So the office here in San Antonio, we do personal injury and family law. The one in Fort Hood is mainly family law, because our soldiers, you know, Fort Hood is there, which is one of the biggest military bases. And sadly enough, is the county with the biggest divorce, with the largest divorce filings in the state.
I didn't know that.
They file more divorces in Bell County than any county in the state. And it's because of the troops down there. The separation of families because of the military missions really, really hit home to the troops. So we have an office there that to help the soldiers, and we provide some services pro bono depending on the ranks and depending on the situations, and it's a way to give back to the troops, as I was one at one point. I remember when I was one of them, and I'm still one of them. So we do that, and then we have in Puerto Rico, which we deal with more personal injury, and my brother managed that one, so he takes care of that office more than I do. But I get to go home every now and then, you know.
It's a nice place to go to.
Oh, it's a beautiful place to go.
So you're originally from Puerto Rico?
That's what I was raised, and that's what I still where my family's at. Yes.
So you came to the cool climate here in South Texas. Then,
this is too cold right now. It's about 85 degrees back home, and you can be at the beach if you want.
Perfect.
Okay.
Tell us about the client experience. What can a client expect out of you and your staff in terms of communication, negotiation? We can always come back to this. We have a few minutes here before our break.
Yeah, clients, each one is a different case. Even people have the same facts, but it could be a different case because of the people involved.
That's true.
As to properties, what kind of properties they have, they might all agree to get divorced, but still some issues pending that people don't realize that they are pending until they come to a lawyer and say, I want to get divorced. And you start bringing all these legal matters, and they get surprised, and they go like, oh wow, I didn't know that, and why this, why that. So you got to be very, very specific to what you tell the clients, because they take everything that you say
literally
in.
yeah
Literally, word for word.
Literally,
you know that.
Yes. We're gonna take a quick break, and we'll be right back. We're talking with Miguel Ortiz, attorney, and we're talking about how his communication with his clients, and so stay tuned.